Brad's got a bunch of QB profiles for the draft coming up.
So I get sent this every draft, and I barely get to use anything because we're not doing like live draft coverage. And honestly, I'm kind of proud of our show not getting all wrapped up into it even before the Super Bowl is over. We got mock drafts that we have to talk about that none of them are ever true. And then like the mock drafts of Mel Kiper, who I love and respect, and I think he knows exactly what he's doing, but why has he got to do 7 of them? You'd think like once he does one, that's the end all be all, right?
Why is it going to change?
Well, things change. Then why in the hell was I paying attention for the first 6? So we don't start until draft week, which is Tuesday. We're about a little bit more than 48 hours away from the big first round primetime draft that will be going on Thursday primetime. And, dude, everything is really revolving around number 3. You can listen to the Bears if you want. Go down there, red herrings of tall tales. But they're going to be drafting Caleb Williams. Come on, let's be honest. And then, maybe something happens with the Commandos. Maybe they make a trade. Maybe they don't. If they don't, let's be honest. Come on, man. They're going Jaden Daniels. So if those guys are off the board, right, off the bat, and New England is still sitting there at number 3. And let's also remember, you New York Giants fans, you got number 6. And let's also remember, both these teams need a quarterback. And they're going to be drafting a quarterback. Just don't know when they're going to be drafting that quarterback. So if we take Daniels, if we take Williams off the board, the 3 that are really looking the Patriots in the face would be Drake May, Bo Nix, and Penix Jr. People can argue J.J. McCarthy might be up there. There may be 1, maybe 2 guys that you have. But I know people have seen flashes. I know people have seen highlights. And I just wanted to play the big sounding, the big imaging, and a couple of the highlights that are in these minute packages with each player. And maybe we can talk about each one. The one that's really, I think the smart money, if you were to bet on the 3rd pick, you were betting on the Patriots to pick this person, I think smart money would lead you to Drake May.
Drake May, quarterback, North Carolina, 6'5", 220 pounds.
Here's May, gonna fire it deep, and it's caught. Jones at the 20, inside the 10, first and goal, Carolina.
Size, athleticism, strength, accuracy. North Carolina standout Drake May has all the makings of a franchise quarterback. The 2022 ACC Offensive Player of the Year finished his college career with a 149 passer rating, completing over 63% of his passes. May is as much a threat outside of the pocket as he is in the pocket, with an elite ability to throw on the run and gain yards with his legs. Teams at the top of the draft will look to make Drake May the new face of their franchise.
Not buying it, Dibs. Not buying it. Makes plays with his legs. I haven't seen that. Never seen that with Drake May. I knew Mitch Trubisky real well when he was at North Carolina. I was in Chapel Hill at the same time, and I always thought, man, this guy makes plays with his legs. He got to the NFL, and he didn't really make plays with his legs. I don't know if he was not allowed to make plays with his legs, but he never made plays with his legs. And if you're telling me that Drake May is making plays with his legs, I'm not buying it. No, I'm not buying it. I do think he is going to be a quarterback in the league. Will he be a good one? Will he be a bad one? I think flip a coin, see where it lands, and roll with it. I just cannot see a team trading up or the Patriots staying pat and picking him at number 3. I could see the Giants staying at 6, and if he falls there, that they scoop him up. But to me, I don't know, man. I would, if I'm in the boardroom, the war room, and I'm talking to the Patriots, I would go thumbs down on Drake May.
Well, I mean, some of the latest quarterbacks that they've drafted, obviously 2021 was Mac Jones out of Alabama, 2019 with Jarrett Stidham. That's just recent memory. Obviously, you had Tom Brady for 20 years. All 3 of those guys were dead sticks in the backfield. They could not run. They were drop back passers. They were SEC guys. Obviously, Tom Brady came out of Michigan, and everybody else was a backup type guy. They weren't trying to get a stud guy until Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, I don't want to say was a miserable failure, but you didn't help him changing offensive coordinators every year. And again, whoever this guy that you do draft is going to get a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, and a new direction. And so a lot of that stuff is where you don't have a built-in guy that's going to be working with him all the time as a mentor. Then you're going up against Josh Allen. You're going up against Tua. Whoever I draft has to play them all, and Aaron Rodgers. 6 of your games, of your 18 games, 6 of them, a third of your games are up against 3 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You better get it right. You better make sure you draft the right guy because you've got a very difficult division to play in, whoever you draft.
Now, Drake May has been extremely successful in the University of North Carolina in the last 3 years. And this guy is kind of a prototype quarterback. Like, he's not a 5-sport athlete. He has been a quarterback since 8th grade. He has always just played that position. Went to a very, very highly touted program in Charlotte Myers Park High School. ACC Player of the Year in 22, and also, as you just heard, the Offensive Player of the Year in 2023. This guy loves throwing the football. But can he be a manager of men at the age of 21, coming into a new situation with a completely new head coach and hopefully a new style of offense for the New England Patriots? We shall see. If it's not Drake May, perhaps it's the kid from Oregon. Let's listen in on the profile of Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, quarterback, Oregon, 6'2", 217 pounds.
Bo wants to go deep. He's got him. Touchdown, Oregon. Troy Franklin got behind, and Bo put it right in the breadbasket.
The Oregon quarterback is loaded with experience. In 2 years at Auburn and the last 3 in Eugene, Nix started 61 games, compiling a record of 22-5 as a Duck, including last season where he averaged 322 yards per game with 45 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions. The biggest question about Nix going into the pros might be how he will adapt outside of Oregon's vaunted offensive system.
Kind of a fan of this guy.
I like this guy.
He sounds like a great movie.
He does have the name, doesn't he, Bo Nix? Like, he's got the look, too. And here's another thing. He's one of these older cats, man. He has played in 5 bowl games in his long career as a college quarterback. He has played some big boy college football. Like, the Pac-12 last year, one of the best conferences in college football. But I know everyone likes to suck their teeth into the SEC. And he has been there and done that in the SEC as well. 3 years at Auburn as an 18-year-old till the year of 20. Each one of those years was a winning record. And again, like, he's going up against the best defenses in that league. Makes the transfer and makes the most of it. He has been 22-5 at Oregon, throwing the ball all over the place to the tune of 4,500 yards passing at Oregon. Now, I know a lot of LSU wide receivers are going to be out there. I know there's going to be a couple of North Carolina Drake May targets out there. I don't know many Oregon Ducks that are going to be on the pile in the wide receiver or tight end crew that Bo Nix was throwing to. He made his team better last year. And I think if it's not the Patriots, if not the Giants, I think people are going to get a pretty good quarterback in a rookie deal. And he might not start right away with the team he goes to, but I think this 24-year-old is worth the pick.
That's the key. You just said he's 24 years old.
Yeah.
And looking down like the last 7 or 8 draft picks of the Patriots. Now remember, Mac Jones was the only number 1 first round draft pick. Jimmy Garoppolo was a number 2 second round pick. Was supposed to be the heir apparent to Tom Brady. I don't know, what was that, about 10 years ago? Jacoby Brissett was a 3rd rounder. He was pretty damn good. Stidham was a 4th rounder. So, I mean, do you waste your first round pick on a guy that's questionable? Do you go, like you always talk about, a left tackle? Do you go with a wide receiver? There's some really good offensive tackles that'll be available in the top 10. There's some really good wide receivers that are available in the top 10. You don't just need a quarterback with New England. You need some really special play. Exactly. So you need some really good specialty players. So that's the one thing that you're talking about right now. Is who is going to be up front in front of this new quarterback, and who are going to be the guys he's actually throwing the ball to.
The other thing on top of the age is also the experience. 61 college starts. That is the most at the position of quarterback in NCAA history. So He's got some snaps under his belt, but so does this next guy at the age of 24. And I think that he may be the steal at quarterback depending on where he goes in the draft. How about Penix Jr.?
Michael Penix Jr., quarterback, Washington, 6'3", 214 pounds.
Penix going deep. Odunze turned around. Found the ball. Touchdown.
Penix is coming off a season where he led the Huskies to the national championship game, was a Heisman finalist, was named first-team All-American, and also won the Maxwell Award, given to college football's best all-around player. The lefty has a cannon for an arm and is extremely accurate on his throws. He'll turn 24 years old in May and suffered 2 torn ACLs in his college career, but still ran a sub-4.6 40-yard dash at his pro day. Make no mistake, Penix is one of the most intriguing names in this entire draft process.
So true, man. This is high risk, high reward. And like the thing that scares everybody, and I see it in your face too,
I say no.
The knee surgery.
No way.
You don't like the knee
Not
surgeries.
at 24, not with the torn ACLs. If this guy gets hurt, your whole season goes down the tubes. And remember, you're a 4-13 team with a new, Gerard Mayo is your new head coach, just named in February. I don't know if he wants to stake his future on a guy that could be injury prone.
But I could see this guy going
Oh, no, we love him.
10, 11,
We
12,
love him,
13,
yeah.
and become one of these guys. We're like, why did we
not
pass?
a top 5 pick.
Why did we pass on him?
Not a top 5 pick. The problem is we broke this down yesterday talking about running backs. There's no really even great first-round draft pick in the first round, and if you do, they're all small.
Right.
It's not like some guy that's going to be durable, that's going to help this guy out and be 50-50.
The one thing I will say about Penix too, as a receiver talking here, I hated seeing a left-handed quarterback. Like it was just weird
Really?
when you saw it. However, if you see the pop out of this guy's rocket that he has attached to his body, like it's Michael Vick style. He just flicks the wrist and it floats for 60 yards on a dime. The spiral is the tightest spiral that you will see coming out this year at quarterback. And yeah, the injuries scare me, but the 4.6 is nice. If you can get a guy that can get out of some trouble, that's
if you
gonna
could
be
trade
good
down
for
and
the
get some
Patriots.
good picks and possibly, again, we've talked about this Milton kid from
This would be
Tennessee.
the trade down.
Yes,
This
this
would
is
be
the
the trade
this is
down.
the trade down.
Yeah.
And so now you get a guy second or third round. This Milton kid is what, 6'5", can throw it 80 yards.
Can take
He's
a
younger. He could take a hit. He's a guy that's going to have to survive the next couple of years. Like I said, they're 4-13. I don't see them being a 500 team this year. You got a new head coach. He's a defensive guy. He played defense in the NFL. So, I mean, a lot of things point against wasting. I don't want to say wasting, but you don't have time for this guy to get good. You don't have time for this guy 2-3 years. Mayo could be out of a job by then. And if you were the Jets head coach, you're getting fired every 2 years. So you're following a legend, a Hall of Fame coach. You need to make a splash. Maybe you don't take that third pick.
Number 3, again, whoever has it, very intriguing on Thursday night. By the way, Rob Dibble Show going to be live from Clubhouse on Main and Glastonbury as we
Join
get the
us.
party started
Yep.
for the draft night, the draft weekend. Now, there's a couple of guys, too, I wanted you guys to hear. They're not quarterbacks. They're not going to be on the option list at number 3, but you're going to see these names, and you're going to be like, what? This guy's name's really that? Yes, and they're probably going to be first rounders, but I don't want any of our listeners to be surprised. I want our listeners to be in the room to tell everyone else, oh, I know that guy. I heard all about him on the Rob Dibble Show. Have you heard of Chop? Do you know Chop yet?
No.
Oh, play him some Chop.
Chop Robinson, edge, Penn State, 6'3", 250 pounds.
Dan Porter lines up a few yards deep in the end zone. Straight ahead run on first down. He is denied. Oh, he got planted. Chop Robinson.
Penn State pass rusher Chop Robinson got his nickname when he was a baby. It was originally Pork Chop, but that got shortened to Chop, which turned out to be a fortuitous nickname. He chopped down enemy quarterbacks 4 times in 2023 and also racked up 7.5 tackles for loss. Perhaps the only thing you need to know about his potential is that his athleticism has drawn comparisons to the likes of Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett. That potential, however, is still thought to need more polish.
Damian Chop Robinson, 6'3", 250. He is one of the fastest,
He's a hybrid,
scariest monsters that's going to come at you from this rookie class. Coming from Penn State, we've seen some great defensive players come out of linebacker U, known as Penn State. I know he's an edge rusher. Just like Parsons, I feel like you can do a lot with him. You can put him on the line in a three-point. You can back him up and have him cover somebody.
Well, there's another great guy that plays for my Cowboys that came from Penn State named Micah Parsons.
Yep.
That if this guy's any bit as good as Micah Parsons, you're getting one of the best in the NFL.
I see your chop, and I raise you Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback, Alabama, 6'1", 195 pounds.
Dart, middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Nearly intercepted by McKinstry.
Mama, there goes that man. Kool-Aid McKinstry masked up one-on-one.
First, there's the nickname. JaQuincy Kool-Aid McKinstry got his nickname from his grandmother because his smile reminded her of the Kool-Aid Man. During his 3 years at Alabama, opponents were not smiling, as he developed a reputation as one of the premier cover corners in the nation. Coverage is his top strength, with other attributes like tackling and making plays on the ball needing development.
Oh, yeah. USA Today Defensive Player of the Year. This dude's born in Birmingham. He's only wanted to play for Alabama, and he made the most of that career playing for the Crimson Tide. This dude is a no-brainer when it comes to if you need a corner, he's the best out there. He is going to be locked down. You get him now because his next deal, especially if Kool-Aid gets involved, is going to be big. So take advantage in the rookie deal if you can, but that's only if you draft the Kool-Aid man. Kool-Aid and Chop. I feel like everybody's more informed now moving towards Thursday.
I can't believe you didn't have Latu in there.
I know. We ran out of time.
Ran out of time, but look for him too. He's an edge rusher as well out of UCLA. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk more NHL and NBA playoffs next.